Hello, this is a quick tutorial on 5.1a. We're going to be estimating with fractions. When we're estimating with fractions, we're talking about asking ourselves, is the fraction closest to 0, is it closest to a half, or is it closest to a whole? And if it's a mixed number, it's just closest to the nearest whole number. The nearest whole number. And the best way to do this is just to try some. So 4/5, we're looking at 4/5. Is that closest to 0, a half, or a whole? Well, 4/5 is almost a whole. 5/5 is a whole. So we're just going to call that 1. Now we have 2 11ths. Well, 11 11ths is a whole. Like 5 1/2 11ths would be a half. This is closer to 0. So we're going to call this one 0. And then 1 plus 0 equals 1. There it is. It's just an estimate. Okay, 4/7, is that closer to 0, half, or whole? Well, 3 1/2 sevenths would be a half. So I'm going to say that this is about a half. And 1/5, well, that's closest to 0. It's certainly not closest to a half or a whole. So we're just going to say 1/2 plus 0 equals 1. We can do the same thing with subtraction. We have 7/9. 7/9 is close to 9/9. So we're going to say that this is 1. And 1/5, well, 1/5 again, that's closest to 0. So we're just going to call that 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Let's jump down and I'll give you 4, 5, and 6 to try your own. Let's try 7, 8, and 9. Now we're looking at mixed numbers. And here it's a little bit easier. Put your arrow right on that number, the first number, and say, is this number closer to 5 or 6? 5 and 1/7, there's only 1/7. That's closer to 5. Put your finger right there on that 7. Is that 7 and 9 11ths? Is that closer to 7 or 8? Well, 9 11ths, that's almost a whole pizza, so we're going to call that 8. 5 plus 8 equals 13. There's my estimate. All right, now we have 3 and 10 11ths. Well, 3 and 10 11ths, is that closer to 3 or 4? Well, it's closer to 4 because we have 3 wholes and we have 10 parts out of 11. Think of 10 pieces out of 11 in a whole pizza. That's almost a whole pizza. So we're going to call that 4 pieces. 4 pizzas. And now we look at this one. We have 2 and 1/6. Is 2 and 1/6 closer to 2 or is it closer to 3? Well, it's closer to 2. So 4 minus 2 equals 2. There's our estimate. Now it's kind of a weird one here. We have 5 and 1/4. Well, 5 and 1/4. 5 and 2/4 would be a half. So this one here is not, this is only 1/4. So this must just be 5. And 1/7, well, that's just a tiny number. I mean, it would have to be 3 1/2 sevenths to be close to 1/2. So we're just going to call this one 0. 1/7 is close to that. So 5 minus 0 equals 0. And I'll let you try 5, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12 on your own. Go ahead and pause it for a minute and work through them, and I'm going to do these answers for you real quick while you're paused. Okay, you'll notice that as I put some of these in here, these circle ones I did for you, and your parents could argue that maybe they have a different way of estimating. I'm just being honest and I'm trying to use the same formula. This one's kind of a tough one because it's 3/5 is 0.6, and so that's closer to 1/2, so that's really 1/2 plus 1 is 1 1/2. This is just 1 minus 0, which is 0, 1 minus 0, which is 1. Sorry about that. And here we have 1 minus 1/2 is 1/2. This one here, I think all 3 of these are fine estimates, whichever one makes the most sense to you. Yeah, This is why I hate teaching estimating. Sometimes the answers are complicated. This one I'd just call it 2 plus 7. Call that 9. And this one here I'd say 10 minus 3, which is 7. All right, there you go. Hope that helped.